out of the rat race and moved from Vancouver to Galliano Island. The couple, now in their 60s, planned on opening a small business to make them enough money to finance their passion to travel. What happened next was beyond their wildest dreams, and the couple now enjoying something of an international reputation of their own.
Oh, yes, please.
Ken and Sylvia Mounsey spend a great deal of their time in the kitchen these days. They moved to a small cottage on Galliano Island 15 years ago to get out of a rat race. Originally from Northern England, they've lived in Canada for 40 years.
Yeah, we lived the regular life in the suburbs of North Vancouver and went to work every day, and I enjoyed the work. It was design work, creative, but one of my punishments is to look out at that pall of smoke over there, and that's crafted pulp mill that I helped to design. So I'm just glad that we can't smell it.
But they can smell the fresh bread they bake most days in their own brick oven. The bread is not just for themselves, nor are the vegetables they pick every day from their cottage garden. Just across the road from their cottage they run a restaurant named the Pink Geranium, and Mounsey built it himself when they first moved here. This is homemade whipped cream to go with homemade apple pie. The Mounseys, who had never cooked for more than their own family when they first opened the restaurant, rely on home cooking.
And it's simple food too, you see. It's you know, like Mum used to cook. That's when Mum used to cook. Before Mum went out to work.
Today, 15 years later, it's still only the two of them running the Pink Geranium. When they're open, they put in 17-hour days. Ken stays mostly behind the scenes, while Sylvia not only does the bulk of the cooking, but virtually all the serving. They can seat up to 30 guests for dinner, and only open 2 or 3 nights a week.
So all I can do is add you to the list, and...
As the restaurant's popularity has grown, it's sometimes necessary to make reservations several months in advance. The Pink Geranium has been written up in restaurant guides. Recommendations and awards fill its windows, even though ever since they opened, the Mounseys have never advertised. That's because they didn't want to grow too quickly.
You see, we didn't want them to find us too fast because we were so inexperienced. We never did anything like this anyway. So, I mean, the thought of 12 people gave me a nervous attack. So it was just as well, you know.
We once made the mistake of serving rabbit
on Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday, that didn't go down so well. But
I thought it was quite funny because I called it Easter Bunny, but nobody thought it was funny but me.
Today, people come here from all over the globe. One couple called from Melbourne, Australia to make a reservation. And what makes it even more unusual is that guests have no choice in what they eat.
Who cares? No, it's good food. Makes your mouth water just hearing people talk about it.
The menu is set and so is the price. Today, $17.50 gets each guest sorrel soup, pork chops, homemade plum chutney, and much more.
Cabbage rolls.
And, of course, for dessert, there's the homemade apple pie.
It relieves the stress of deciding what you want from the menu.
oh yeah.
Hey, when you go out for dinner and you see this big menu, and somebody else always gets what you wish you had, you know?
Yeah,
well, this way you don't get it, see?
It's a more interesting experience. It's more like coming to someone's home and being served a good meal.
I booked about in July for now.
You booked it now?
Yes. And my husband enjoys good gourmet food, and I thought this would be a nice birthday treat for him.
The Mounseys only opened in the first place to make enough money to live on the island and take vacations. They've certainly achieved that goal. Today, photograph albums from their trekking trips to such places as New Zealand, Costa Rica and the Canary Islands are displayed in their fireplace alcove, where guests can look at them over a drink after dinner. And what of the future?
So now we're ready for another change. Close the restaurant maybe, or slow it down, and spend more time. We have a 2-seater kayak. We kayak all around these islands. We got mountain bikes. Still got legs to walk on, and lots of places to see that we still want to see.
They've roamed the world, but for the Mounseys, now grandparents in their 60s, there's still no place they'd rather be than home on Galliano.